Alright, we are live. Hello everybody, this is YK. Okay, so today I'll be sharing some of my tips and tricks on how to speed up your animation workflow in Maya. And these are some of the shortcut keys, mouse grips, shelves, all the things that I usually use when I animate. So if you have any helpful shortcuts or tricks that you use, feel free to share, comment down below. Right, so let's get into business. I'm pretty sure you guys know some of the Maya default hotkeys already. Like for example, Ctrl Z or Z is to undo. So you can do it with not just Ctrl Z, you can just press Z itself. You go undo. To redo, Shift Z, C and Shift Z, Z, Shift Z, undo, redo. Because you should know play toggle animation is alternate V. And while you're working on your poses, for example, and might need some more screen space, for example your monitor is pretty small, you can hit Control Space to get a full screen view in Maya. Control Space to come back again. Next, changing the background color. For me, I like to use black as my background so I can see the character easily. So you can hit alternate B to toggle between different background colors. Right, so next we'll go to changing the manipulator space. For example, I'm in the world axis right now for the translation gizmo. So I can, if I want to switch it to the local space, I can just hold down W and left click. So I can select between world, object, component, for example. So if I want to go to local, I go to object, and the manipulator will switch to local space. Again, W and click. So this is holding down W for translation, rotation, or scale, plus back click. So right now the rotation is in local space. I can just hold down E, left click, and go to world space if I need to. But bear in mind that this doesn't change your rig setup. It just changes how the gizmo is being displayed. Very easy. Next, right. For example, you're working on a short animation from a camera, and let's say the camera is it's a very wide shot, and you are tweaking the silhouette of this pose, and you want to make sure the fingers looks right, but it's from the camera, it's too far, you can't see the fingers and all. So what you can do is at the camera window, just press the the backwards slash button, this button. So if you notice, it will switch from normal camera to 2D pan and zoom. So what this does is you can manipulate the camera without actually moving it. So this is 2D pan and zoom. So you can toggle between the normal view and the zoom view. How to control the camera is using the same button, press and hold, and then just move your mouse, middle click or left click, right click, middle click or right click to move the camera around, so move the zoom around. So this way you can easily see something in the camera view from far away without actually moving your camera. Right, this is a very useful tool if you're working on a lot of like TV series, movies, and you have a still camera to work with. So let's say you accidentally move your camera and you forgot to set key on the camera. So it's a hassle to pose the camera back again. So what you can do is hit this button to go to the previous camera angle. Great. So you can also hit the opposite button to go to the next camera view. So this is very helpful. If you accidentally move your camera and you want it to go back to the view you were at. So you can also do it in perspective, like for example you're tweaking the character's head and you tweak the hand and you want to go back to the head again. Just hit the, what's it called? This button. But just remember to always lock your camera if you're not using it. Next, scrubbing through timeline. So while we are working on an animation, we might need to scrub through the timeline. It's a bit, how to say, troublesome to move your mouse to the timeline and drag. So what you can do is hold down K and drag. So you can actually scrub through your timeline without actually going to the timeline. Just hold down K, click and drag. It's very useful if you just want to speed up. Right. Right, and next we have somebody asked me in the stream previously, how do I manipulate the character without actually touching the gizmo. So what I'm doing is pressing middle click and drag, so I can actually move the gizmo based on the camera without actually touching the manipulators one by one. So this saves a lot of time. Right. Next, simple mail scripts. So some of you might or might not be using mail scripts already. Right, Maya is built on mail scripts, so it's very easy to use mail scripts to speed up your workflow. For example, if you see I have a lot of mail scripts set up over here, and some are not actually in the shell because I've assigned it to a shortcut. So there are, for example, delete keys. For example, when I want to clean up something, I don't have to go to edit keys, delete keys. I can just press this button to clear my keys away. Or I can open up, for example, the graph editor. Rather than going through Windows, Animation, and Graph Editor, I can just press the script button over here. So there are a lot of things that you can use from the script, from my script. Let's go to Windows, General Editor, Script Editor. So for example, when I launch the outliner, so in the script editor, on the top part, there's actually scripts running when you're doing anything in Maya. So you can, for example, I want to, let's say, run a command. I just copy this script and either you paste in command section or you save it to the shelf. So next time you want to do the same command again, you can just hit the shelf button. And sometimes there are things that are hidden, they are not echoed in the script editor. So what you can do is go to History, Echo All Commands. So this will make sure the script editor reflects all the things, all the commands that are running behind the screen. But sometimes it's too much, so I will use it sparingly. So whatever commands you want, you can copy from the script editor, or you can find it online as well. It's very easy to Google for Maya scripts that you need. And there are some scripts right here that I personally downloaded from online where people share the scripts. So there's this snap tool, snap key, snap locator, there big tool, rich tool. I have this script set up, so with just one button I can make sure I set up my workspace properly, like turning off all the unnecessary things and just leave polygons and curves on. This is just turning off the curves. Also you can create scripts for the items in the menu by holding down Ctrl, Shift and click. Like for example, I want a graph editor mail script button. So on the shelf that you are using, go to Windows, Animation, Editors, Ctrl, Shift and click. So this will generate a button for you, and every time you click, it launches the graph editor. And if you, for example, you want the outliner, or you want to create a polygon sphere, you can do so as well. So it's Control Shift click, Shift. Right. So custom hotkeys. I also set up some custom hotkeys so that I can go to all the windows that I need while I'm animating. You can set up custom hotkeys here in Windows, Settings, Hotkey Editor. Yeah. So you can go to like a lot of things like that. Let me show you what I set up. So I set up graph editor. For me, my shortcut is alternate G. So every time I want to pull something and I want to animate it, just hit alternate G to open up the graph editor, and it saves me a few seconds going into the menu. I have alternate O for outliner as well. I set up the script to toggle display curves on and off. Alternate C. What else? I have a play bus. Oh no, it's not set up here. Yeah, let's set up the hotkey so I don't have to go to play bus options every single time I want to do a play bus. So go to the Hotkey Editor. You can easily search, for example, play bus. Alright, I want Maya to open up the play bus options using a hotkey. For example, myself I set to alternate L. Save and close. So every time I want to play bus something, I just hit alternate L, and then yeah, I can just play bus it right away. Save time. Next, this will be graph editor specific. Yeah, I also have a hotkey set up for my Anim school picker. So how I do this is you can actually key a hotkey and run some codes. So custom scripts. So I have a script set up for toggle curve on and off, and the Anim school picker command. So let's say I want to run I have this script called bake, xbake. So let me copy the command, and I want to create a new runtime command here in the Hotkey Editor. It's new, paste the code in, rename it, call this xbake script. So if you want to write a description, it's up to you. Save the runtime command. It's xbake. So for example, let me set up a hotkey alternate Control Shift E. So using this, I can easily run this command, my xbake script. Alright, let me delete this. Alright, graph editor. Coming back to graph editor. So using the same options just now in the Hotkey Editor, I set up some useful tools, shortcuts that I use when I'm polishing my animation. So I have Control 1 for changing the tangent to spline, Control 3 to flatten the curve, Control 4 to break tangent. All this is done at the same place in the Hotkey Editor. So just search for tangent, break tangents, tangent flat, and so on. So this helps a lot when I'm polishing animation. I want some overshoot, I can just do that. I want some flat curve or some fast in and fast out for bounces. It's done very quickly without having to go through each buttons. You just use your hotkey. Right. Okay, so Maya default hotkeys in the graph editor. These are some of the ones I use. For example, the K, holding K and drag still works in the graph editor. So inserting keys, you hold down I and middle click to add a key. So you need to select the graph and the curve, holding up and middle click, I middle click. So this way you can add keys very easily. Yes. Right. So in the new versions of Maya, I think 2018 onwards, there are a few ways to display all your curves in the graph editor. So this is the standard way, where everything is stacked up, value versus time. So let's say I only want to see and compare these three curves, and just the rotation X. So sometimes if your curve is high up like that, it's very hard to compare. So there's this new function in the new graph editor: absolute view, stacked view, and normalized view. Hotkeys 1, 2, 3. So I can easily, this is in the default one. If I press 2, it shows you the curved shapes. So it doesn't show you the value, because by default it's like that. If you hit 2, it shows you the curve. So I use this when I'm doing the offsetting, for example, or if I want to copy the shape of the curve, I can do that. And then 3 is to stack all the curves together. So yeah, you can use it in any situation that is suitable. For me, yeah, I usually use 1 and 2. Right. So because I'm working a lot on games and I create a lot of cycles, so I need to create a script to be able to loop my animations automatically. So instead of going step by step, going to view, turning on infinity, go to curve, pre-infinity cycle, post-infinity cycle, all this can be done with just one button. Undo this. So I have set up a mail script. Just need to click once and it cycles for me and turn on the infinity view. So it's the same thing. Just go to script editor, whatever functions that you do in the script editor, it will show up in the in the graph editor. It will show up in the script editor. So let me do it again. It doesn't. I need to turn on echo all commands. View, infinity, turn it on, infinity on, curve, pre-infinity cycle, curve post-infinity cycle. So yeah, there are a lot of commands over here, but you can look for the correct commands if you know how to look for it. So first, display infinites. So copy this command mail script down to the command area. This is my set infinity and post infinity. Oops. So this is the script. So I can run it by using the script editor, or here I saved a mail script on my on my shelf, so I can use it very easily. Right. Right. One more thing. Let's say I want to only animate the rotation Z or Z of the character. So it will be quite troublesome to go through all this and select rotation Z, or you can click here, but it's still quite hard to see, to track which controller it is. So there's one function in the graph editor to show select attributes. So with this, you can easily filter the curve that I want. For example, rotate Z. So I will only see rotation Z in all the controllers selected, or control Y, rotation Y, or just the translation, or even the custom attributes. Put this here. So this is very helpful for me when I'm doing the layering animation. I don't want any distractions. I can just use these. Very easy. So yeah, there are also some preferences that you can tweak to speed up your animation workflow. Just head to the time slider section under the update view. So by default, when I play the animation, only the view that I'm selecting on is updating. So if you hit all, so both views will be updated. So this will be very helpful if you have not done this. Next, you can turn on channel box sync. By default it's off, just check it both and you can easily do this. Right, I think that's all for today. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments down below. If you have any suggestions for the upcoming sharing or anything that you want me to share, feel free to comment as well. Yeah. So I'll see you next time. Stay safe.